Mr. Debburman, your party actually came to prominence with your movement and demand of creation of a Greater Tipraland. Now, when we talk about an electoral battle and a very keenly contested elections that the Tripura election promises to be won, how are you going to place your Greater Tipraland demand or the issue in this election?
See, we've had the Prime Minister saying that हम लोग 75 साल 75 years of आज़ादी का अमृत महोत्सव. We have been celebrating 75th independence year, and if you look at the northeast, we've got a raw deal actually, and Tipra Motha is fighting for the constitutional rights of the indigenous people without trying to take away rights of any other community which is residing in the northeast or for the matter in Tripura. So when we talk to the rest of the country, we speak from the point of view of northeast and Tripura. The problem with the national party is that they do not want to listen to a voice which they feel uncomfortable with. And the fact is that in the year 2022-2023, the government of India should realize, whichever the government may be, that if you keep on ignoring the sentiments and the voice of the people in the far-flung areas of the northeast, then there will be leadership, there will be parties which will come up, which will not compromise on the basic identity and the survival and existence of its people. What we want is rights. What they want to give us is one or two people getting political power or some funds. First, protect our rights, protect our land, and then we will talk about politics. But they want to only talk about politics without giving us constitutional rights. See, even to the viewers in Tripura, I think there's a very long-drawn discussion that if we demand rights for ourselves, we are trying to deny somebody else's rights. I think the injustice which has been meted out to the indigenous people of Tripura has not been by the Bengalis, because they have suffered themselves in Bangladesh, East Pakistan, and they have come over. The problem was that they were not equally settled across the northeast, and Tripura took the brunt of it. Now what we are saying is that please protect us constitutionally. Our demand for Greater Tipraland is also areas which is outside the Autonomous District Council, because there are many Tiprasas living outside the Autonomous District Councils, and there are many Bengalis who are also living, or Manipuris, or Muslims, or Hindus, or Christians and Buddhists living within the Autonomous District Council who may not be tribals, as you would like to put it across. The fact is that we want a solution. We want a permanent solution. We do not want to take away anybody else's right.
In your state, in Tripura, you are seen as the king, as the head of the royal family, and political watchers say that this time in the elections, which will be a multi-cornered fight between different political forces, you and your party might actually become the real kingmaker. What's your take on this?
The king is only made by the God. Ishwar banata hai, kaun raja hai. We are no ones to determine who's going to be the king. And in a democracy, there are no kings. The people will decide whether we are genuine or they are genuine. And as of today, it looks like we are winning the race by a big margin. First of all, absolutely we are going to contest outside the 20 seats. In fact, you may be aware that we fought in the Surma by-election, where it's a SC reserved constituency. We gave a chance to a Cha Bagan worker who was affected by the 10,323 teachers whose jobs were terminated. And we, for the first time in the history, we gave a person from the Cha Bagan community a seat to fight in the SC reserved constituency. And within 15 days, we came second, and we lost by only 3,000 votes against a very powerful BJP. Communists were left in the third position, and Trinamool came in the last position. So, of course, we are going to fight outside the 20 seats. We are going to field candidates who are outside the indigenous community. We are going to field Bengalis. We are going to field Muslims. We are going to field Cha Bagan workers. If possible, we are going to even field Manipuris, because they are part and parcel of Tripura's history and our society.
Your party is believed to have its major political power in the 20 tribal reserve seats out of the total 60 seats in Tripura. So are you only getting restricted to those seats, or are you contesting in seats which are not your stronghold, if we can say in that way? And what about alliances? Are there any possibility of any pre-poll alliance? What is on the card?
So we are talking on jobs, we are talking on reforms, we are talking on transparency, we are talking on actual deliverables. You see, most of the national parties only speak what Delhi wants to instruct their leaders to say in the Northeast. We, on the other hand, want to speak about local issues, local problems, local challenges, problems of health, sanitation, education. Today, our education scenario is very bleak. We are not even allowed to appear in CBSE exams in a script which is palatable to us, applicable to us. The health scenario, we know how badly we have suffered in the health scenario. Unemployment is at the all-time high. So we want to speak on these issues. And of course, we also will not divert away from our core agenda, which is Greater Tipraland, which is a constitutional right. Did BJP divert from Ram Mandir in 30 years? They were in power with Trinamool Congress in government. They were with Chandrababu Naidu. They were with Akali Dal. Did they divert from Ram Mandir? No. Did they divert from Article 370? They were in power with Mehbooba Mufti's party and National Conference. They wanted revocation of 370. For 30 years, they did not. They were in alliance with these parties at some point in time. So why should I divert from my core ideology? And of course, we can still talk to people who will understand this is our core ideology, and I understand their point of view. But together, we want a secular, democratic, and a economically progressive Tripura. Of course, I want the state to develop. Of course, I want all communities in the state to develop. Why should the development, if tomorrow there is corona, does it only affect one community? If there is unemployment, does it affect one community? If there are bad roads, does it affect any one community? No. Today, what has happened? There is no change. All the contractors who made money under the communist rule have crossed over and become contractors in the BJP government. The people are still suffering with bad roads, no drinking water. So, by changing parties, you don't change the face. You have to change the system. We are here to challenge the system, to change the system, and to do it locally. We have been consistent. I have been consistent in my ideology that India is a secular state. India should be a state for all communities. I'll do anything possible, but we'll fight without compromising and destroying and breaking the hearts of our people. This is our final commitment. No, we will probably come to power on our own. Why should I even think? We are fighting in about 40 seats. So the halfway mark is 31. Why should we think that we are going to lose seats? We are confident of fighting all our 40 seats and winning. And especially for the youth, we have given chance to so many youth. Our youngest MDC is 26. I'm one of the oldest MDCs, and I don't think I'm very old.